Here's the cold hard truth and how to get your wife to let go of the past. I had a brilliant conversation with a guy who just saved his marriage in our program. We were reflecting deeply about the one thing that got his wife to completely drop all of the years of resentment, frustration, and pain. I had a huge realization and I just figured it out. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you what took me 12 years to realize about letting go of the past, and I'll share it in the next few minutes. See, most men lose their wife for good, not because they didn't try hard enough. It's because of what I call the FOD law. It stands for forced outcome dependence. See, there's a dilemma here that will be illogical to most men, but within that confusion lies the truth that will set you free. This is a truth she is secretly hoping you understand and use with her. And when you do, she'll finally be able to let go of the past and focus on building a future with you again. Oh, and by the way, the final thing that I'm gonna give you in this video is one of the best strategic intervention tools in therapy. It's called the paradoxical intervention technique, and it'll blow your mind. So stay tuned for that one at the very end. So the first principle of this idea that I want you to understand is actually why she actually holds on to the past and brings it up all the time. Now you may be thinking, does she just want you to make you feel bad? Is it a tool of leverage that she uses in communication to just make you feel less than, bringing up the past and all your mistakes? Now, believing those thoughts will only guarantee you lose her for good and make the relationship worse over time. She brings up the past every single time for one reason and one reason alone. Let me share that reason through a story. See, last month I worked with Michael, who was at his breaking point. His wife, Sarah, would bring up things from 5, 6, 10, 20 years ago in their marriage, 25 years of marriage. Even small things that he thought were just completely forgotten or weren't even a big deal. He said to me, "She remembered this time I missed her sister's wedding because of work. She brings up how I forgot our anniversary these years ago. She even brings up comments that I made that I don't even remember saying." Those were Michael's words. And see, Michael's biggest mistake is that every time Sarah brought up the past, he gets super defensive and say things like, "Why can't you just let it go?" And I said I was sorry. Now look, this only made Sarah bring it up more and more and more, because the truth is she doesn't feel safe in those moments. Her literal nervous system is deregulated when she's bringing up the past, okay? She feels insecure. There's a quote that says, "The feminine psyche is deeply tied to relational security. When a man might seek freedom, a woman often seeks emotional anchoring. And when it's inconsistent, insecurity is inevitable." Now look, here's what's happening. You display a lack of apex male traits, okay? That leads her to feel insecure or not emotionally safe. So then she'll test you more, AKA bringing up the past. The reason she does this is because she sees you as a threat and has to find evidence to justify the feeling in the present moment. Now this whole cycle is known as mood congruent recall. See, you're not immune to this either. The idea that you feel emotions first and then your brain seeks to confirm it in the present state of emotion you're currently in, that's a very common trait for men and women both. Okay, so just recognize this is a commonplace phenomenon. So now that you know why she does this, you should soften a little bit the next time she brings it up, which is really important how to get her to let it go. But now let's show you the number one mistake most men make that only cause her to just double down on bringing up the past. The second principle is this number one mistake. So let me tell you about another client named James. When James first joined our program, he was constantly battling with his wife. Lisa would always bring up the past as well. Every time she brought up old hurts, he interrupted her and said things like, "Look, we've been through this already. I thought you let this go already." And the one that upset Lisa the most was saying things like, "I just want to focus on the future again." See, the more he tried to get her to stop talking about the past, the more determined she became to make him hear it. And if I were to label your wife with a few traits, I am certain that one of those on the top would be stubbornness, am I right? So where am I going with all this? When you say things like, "Why do you always bring up the past?" Or, "If you want to be with me, then let's just focus on the future." Or my favorite one, "I thought you already forgave me for this." In those moments, when you are saying those things to her, you are denying the present moment feeling she's experiencing, therefore denying her. That's how she feels. Okay, instead you need to gestalt her. Now, gestalt therapy is all about present moment focus. And here's how you can apply it with her in conversation. You say something like this: "I hear how that experience from the past still impacts you, but rather than just retelling the story, can we stay with what's happening right now in your body, in your feelings, as you speak about it?" This honors the past, okay, but it also appears in the present moment experience. So interrupting the mental loop that she can go through, you are seeking to lean into her and understand her more instead of pull away, which is what all those statements intend to do. You see the big difference: leaning in, trying to get close to her in conflict versus I'm running away. And she can feel the difference between the two. When you're able to be curious and actually ask how she feels, it brings the attention to her body. And that's where the emotion is felt and processed, and then the letting go process happens within that. Let's move into what you can start doing to help her let go in the present moment the next time she brings it up. The third principle here is that she needs consistency above everything else. So I mentioned emotional safety. Now, once you give her that, she is able to regulate her nervous system, okay, and step back into the present moment with you. Let's look at how this cycle will play out when you don't do that. So let's say she brings up the past, okay? Now you feel frustrated, angry, and doubtful if she'll ever let it go, if you're gonna live a life of peace or constant misery when she's randomly ruined these moments of connection. So naturally, you pull back, you make false promises, and you get angry or you shut down. If not one of them, sometimes all four. Well, this causes her to see you as more of a threat, less emotionally safe, and then she's likely to bring up the past again. You see how that cycle plays out? Remember James from earlier? Well, his breakthrough came when he realized this pattern of inconsistency with Lisa. During arguments, he would say whatever it took to end the fight. He would say things like, I'll never work late again, or I promise I'll always put you first, or look, I'm gonna change completely. I'm sorry, I'm gonna change completely. But then a week later, he'd be back to his old habits. You see, this inconsistency and back and forth made Lisa feel so unsafe and unheard. So she'd bring up the past again as evidence that she couldn't trust his words. And so the loop and the cycle repeated. Now look, consistency matters because your wife's nervous system is scanning for safety within you. When you say one thing and do another, her brain files that as threat, cannot trust. So every little inconsistency reinforces her belief that she needs to stay vigilant and remember every past hurt as protection. So how do you develop more consistency with her in your own life? Okay, number one, only make promises that you can 100% keep. Number two, start small and build trust with small, consistent daily actions, even if it's not about her, just within yourself. Number three, when you mess up, and you will, own it immediately. Take full responsibility, radical responsibility. Number four, create systems that help you remember important dates and events. Put it on your calendar, okay? And follow through even when it's inconvenient. Now, what will happen when you become consistent? Her nervous system will begin to relax around you. She'll need to use the past as protection less and less. So start focusing on present moment connection with you. That's where connection occurs, with being present with both of you. And she'll begin to trust your words again. Now, the relationship will shift from really rehashing old hurts to creating new experiences, what you ultimately want. The fourth principle is a three-step process, okay? The three-step process I want you to follow the next time she brings up the past that will consistently show her you are safe is this. Step number one, understanding. I don't want you to just listen. I want you to fully invest all of yourself into understanding how she feels. Remove all assumptions. I want you to say things like, I want to understand how that made you feel. And I still completely get it affects you. Lean into acceptance with her. And then honestly, be quiet and stop defending yourself. A lot of times success comes from not doing the wrong things. When Michael used this with Sarah, she actually started crying because for the first time, she felt like he wasn't just waiting for his turn to speak or defend himself. He was actually trying to understand her pain. Now, the second step is to make your word clear and specific. Look, even if your word has been shot over time, it still has some weight, okay? It just has to be backed by the consistency, by the action. So saying things like, I hear you and I won't do this anymore. That's okay to still do. Even if she said your word means nothing, you still honor your own word. As long as you mean it, over time, your word will start to develop and have more weight, okay? So you can still make promises to her, but only guarantee you're gonna do it if you know you're gonna follow through. The final step is called paradoxical intention. Now, this is a game changer that most men will miss. Tell her you can bring this up as many times as you need and as long as you want. Now, this is crazy because you're like saying, wait, I'm giving her a full pass to always bring up the past whenever she wants, as long as she wants. Remember the stubbornness in her? There's something about people that when we're given full reign to do something, we actually do it less. This paradoxical intention is a strategic intervention that oftentimes a lot of therapists who are really smart and intelligent will use with couples who are completely stuck. And it's kind of like a little trick technique, and I'm rewarding you for saying this long into the video, as I often do in my scripts. But look, what I want you to understand is that you have to fully mean this. You cannot use it as some technique that's not going to actually have authenticity behind it. If you can fully believe, you know what? She's allowed to bring this as much as she wants. I'm gonna fully accept her. I don't care. She feels completely accepted, loved, and just like, oh my God, I can be myself around this. He actually cares about me. She's gonna be happy with you and she's gonna let go of the past. You see the paradox in that? Because let's just be honest, logically speaking, when you defend, pull away, say, don't do this anymore, why are you doing this? What happens? She brings it up more. So doing the opposite actually helps a lot. And making her feel completely open to start rebuilding the relationship and adding positive interaction and intimacy and attraction again is helping her let go of resentment, which this video is about. The second part of that puzzle, or the second pillar, is rebuilding trust. I'm gonna tell you how to rebuild trust so fast and so well right after I first tell you that if you need help to set up a call with our team, you can click the link down below. Just make sure you're fully committed and we'll get on a strategic intervention call with you where we'll kind of blueprint out the exact steps you need to take based on your specific situation to win her back. Now, the way to rebuild trust is to watch this video right here. It is the best way to rebuild trust really fast. I completely broke down what trust is, how to rebuild it, and examples with clients. So click that video right there. Again, set up a call with our team down below. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.